Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Mayor's Weekly News Conference. For this week's agenda, we will showcase the 2020 census, highlight an Erie Arts and Culture's visiting artist, issue a proclamation to local pharmacists, announce the upcoming compost schedule, discuss tonight's CDBG presentation to City Council, and provide an update on Alerta. Now I'll turn it over to the Mayor. Mayor?
You might have noticed we didn't shake hands this morning. Good morning, everyone. So I think we're just trying to do that for the time being, at least. Anyway, in the mail this week, every one of you should be receiving a 2020 census information in order to complete it. That's probably the most important single task all of us have to do this year. The results for any resident of Erie who does not complete the 2020 census are devastating for our community. The census takes place once every 10 years. Individual results are kept strictly confidential for at least 72 years. None of your personal information will be released until, at the earliest, 72 years from now. In fact, the most recent data released was from 1940, which is 80 years ago. For every Erie resident that does not report this year, we lose three things. First is electoral college votes for president. Second is representation in a federal House of Representatives. And third, again, this is for every individual that doesn't complete, we lose $2,100 per year in federal funding every year for the next 10 years. For 2020, there's an estimate that was issued that in Erie County, there would be 50,519 people not counted. If that would happen, our county would lose over $1 billion in federal funding over the next 10 years. That's billion with a B. This is money that we'll lose from our community centers, from our schools, from our hospitals, from our neighborhoods, from our public health facilities, from transportation, and from CDBG funding, which is currently our current funding that the city gets to give out to help the people that need it the most, is a little over $4 million per year. We'll be talking about that a little bit later today as well. I'd now like to invite Michelle Jagai, the Erie County Census Coordinator, to the podium to tell us a little bit more about the upcoming census events and how much we need every one of you to fully participate. Michelle.
Hello, and thank you for your time. As Mayor Schember shared, this week every household will receive their invitation to respond to the 2020 census in the mail. We have a copy here of what the first letter will look like. It will ask you to go online or use a touch-tone phone to complete your census questionnaire. It also includes a census ID for each household, but it's important to know that that ID can be overrode in the system by manually entering your address. We also have an image of the envelope you can expect to see in your mailbox. You can distinguish the 2020 census invitation to respond from other surveys by both the 2020 census logo and the return address from Jeffersonville, Indiana. It is important to not confuse other mailings, such as the Congressional Census from the RNC or the American Community Survey from the U.S. Census Bureau for the 2020 census. For those who are not comfortable using the internet or telephone response options, a paper copy of the questionnaire will be automatically sent to your home with the third reminder to respond. Additionally, you can look to participate in census events being held throughout Erie County. I am excited to announce our first event will be this Saturday during the St. Patrick's Day Parade. Starting at 1 p.m., you can stop into City Hall to find out more information about the 2020 census and complete your questionnaire while you're there. Our second event will be a free day for the community at the Erie Zoo on Sunday, March 29th. Our second event will be, the zoo will include activities, a chance to win a Erie Zoo family membership, and face painting, in addition to the opportunity to complete your census while you attend. Whether you complete the census at home or at one of these fun events, please remember it is only 9 questions, takes about 10 minutes to complete, and all responses are confidential. Those 10 minutes of your time impacts our community for the next 10 years. Finally, for those wishing to work for the census, they are continuing to hire part-time, flexible positions which start at $16 an hour. You can apply online at 2020census.gov/jobs. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. As Michelle mentioned, there's some things going on this Saturday as part of the St. Patrick's Day Parade, which as of right now at least is still on. But we have received several calls asking if the St. Patrick's Day Parade should be canceled. And we've been in very close contact with the Erie County Health Department and also the organizers of the parade. At this moment, it is still scheduled to take place, but whether it does or not really depends on what happens today and tomorrow. So watch the news for the latest updates. Even if the parade does take place, we would really encourage anyone with health issues or anyone concerned about the coronavirus to just stay home and watch it be live streamed. If the parade does take place, as Michelle mentioned, City Hall is going to be open from 1 to 3:30. There will be help available to complete the census, including iPads, right, that you can actually use to easily do it. There'll be help available for you. And in addition, residents will have opportunities to apply for a job with the census. These are good jobs, especially for maybe retired that are looking for something to do, because the hours are very flexible, right, Michelle? And the pay is $16 per hour, which isn't bad. You can also get information at this event on the Human Rights Commission, and also you can register to vote, and that's thanks to Councilwoman Kathy Schroff, who's here with us. Can we have a round of applause for Kathy? She's made arrangements that people will be able to register to vote. You know, in addition to completing the census, voting is probably the other extremely important activity for each of us to do. These are I consider our two most important civic responsibilities, and they both have an enormous impact on our community. I also want everyone to spread the word and remember the Census Bureau is bound by federal law to keep all your information totally confidential for at least 72 years. Your personal information, there's 9 questions you have to answer, for you and for each member of your family is, again, kept strictly confidential. No one can access it. All responses are compiled to produce county statistics which never identify you, your home, or anybody in your home. So let's make sure everyone in Erie gets counted this year. Next, I'm very happy to announce that Patrick Fisher, the Executive Director of Erie Arts and Culture, has brought another internationally acclaimed artist into town. These artists are not only making Erie's downtown and Bayfront world class, they're also making our neighborhoods welcoming and vibrant. The current artist in residence is Kate Sikorsky. Kate hails from Los Angeles, but she's really made herself an Erieite and is working very hard to represent Erie in her art. I'd like to invite Patrick Fisher up to the podium so he can tell us more about Kate and the current project going on. Patrick.
On March 3rd, Erie Arts and Culture welcomed Kate Sikorsky, our second visiting artist in residence, to northwestern Pennsylvania. Kate is a working contemporary visual artist based in Los Angeles, California. Her current body of work includes mixed media drawings that experiment with ways of portraying dialogue, openness, listening, agency, personhood, and collaborative representation. Although primarily working from direct observation, Kate's work is concept-driven, attempting to subtly activate the viewer to consider solutions to unsolved ethical problems rooted in representation, seeing, and being seen. Since arriving in Erie, Kate has scheduled interviews with residents of the region. Each interview lasts between 1 and 2 hours, during which Kate engages her subject in a conversation which is recorded. While conversing, Kate creates sketches of the subject, achieving a layer of depth through a process of collaging. In previous iterations of this body of work, Kate has built frames and installed a battery-operated speaker system behind the framed object so that recorded conversations could be amplified through the work. While in residence, Kate is collaborating with Erie-based business Lake Erie Woodworks and Leadhead Creative, as well as the Erie County Public Library's Idea Lab, and Byron Rich, a visual artist who integrates science, data, and technology into his work and is also assistant professor of electronic and intermediate art at Allegheny College in Meadville, Pennsylvania. Kate entered into her residency wanting to explore whether or not she could make sound project through her work without any external speakers, thus giving a voice to the subject on paper. Through resources provided by the Allegheny Lab for Innovation and Creativity, the guidance of Byron, and the problem-solving abilities of Adam Cook, a computer science student at Allegheny, Kate has experienced a breakthrough by successfully making sound waves travel through paper and project out from her work. Erie Arts and Culture will host a one-day pop-up exhibit of Kate's work on Sunday, March 22nd. We will share additional details once everything is finalized. Times and locations will be shared through social media and our newsletter. And this Visiting Artist Residency program is a collaboration between Long Road Projects, a Jacksonville-based arts nonprofit, with funding support provided from a special grant from the Erie Community Foundation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Patrick. It is weird not to shake everybody's hand as they come up and down. I apologize for that, but I think we all understand it's the right thing to do right now. Patrick, all of us in Erie really appreciate the work you and your group are doing. That work is resulting from Erie Arts and Culture projects, is really helping us build opportunity, restore hope, and transform Erie. Thanks very much. Did you know that LECOM, the Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine, located in the city on West Grandview Boulevard, graduates more doctors than any medical school in the country every year? I mean, that's impressive. But did you know that LECOM also produces excellent pharmacists who provide outstanding pharmaceutical care to the residents of Erie and really around the whole country? I'd like to invite Dr. Hershey Bell, Dr. Janine Madras, and all the LECOM students here up to the podium, because I have a proclamation to read to you. Normally I'd shake all your hands, but a couple on each side would probably be good for, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so whereas since its founding in 1992, the Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine has grown to become the largest medical school in the country and one of the top pharmacy schools in the country. Whereas the Script Your Future Medication Adherence Campaign is an intercollegiate competition that engages health professional student teams and faculty across the United States in raising public awareness about medication adherence as a critical public health issue. LECOM pharmacy students and their medical and dental school colleagues have participated in the Script Your Future Medication Adherence Campaign since its inception. Whereas LECOM pharmacy students have been promoting the importance of medication adherence throughout the Erie community through events and programs such as health fairs for children and adults, hypertension drives, screenings, and heart health talks. Finally, whereas statistics show us that 1 out of 5 prescriptions, this is amazing to me, 1 out of 5 prescriptions go unfilled, and half of patients with chronic illnesses do not take the medications as prescribed. When patients use their medication as recommended, they can see better health outcomes. Thank you to the students, doctors, teachers, board, and staff for the dedicated service to the Erie community. So now, therefore, I, Joseph V. Schember, Mayor of the City of Erie, am happy to be part of the Script Your Future Medication Adherence Campaign, and I'm very happy to proclaim this week, March 8th through March 14th, as LECOM School of Pharmacy Week in the City of Erie. So congratulations. I'll present this to you. Thank you. So now I'd like to ask Dr. Hershey if he'd like to say a few words, and also anyone else that'd like to say a few words is welcome as well.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm very proud to be here today with faculty from the School of Pharmacy and medical students and pharmacy students who have participated in a whole series of events around Script Your Future. The Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine is honored to receive this recognition for our efforts in promoting medication adherence. LECOM has been a proud participant of the National Script Your Future Medication Adherence Campaign since its inception in 2011. And each year, our pharmacy, medical, and dental students have worked together to educate the Erie, Pennsylvania, and Bradenton, Florida communities on the importance of taking medication as prescribed. Statistics show that skipping prescriptions can have devastating consequences that can result in hospitalizations and even death, and noncompliance translates into as much as $300 billion, that's with a B, taking your lead, Mayor, $300 billion in associated healthcare costs each year. As the healthcare providers of tomorrow, LECOM students take pride in advocating for the overall health and wellness of the communities they serve to achieve improved outcomes for their patients. LECOM thanks Mayor Schember and the City of Erie for recognizing the significance of Script Your Future, as well as LECOM's work in improving the lives of Erie residents through this campaign. Thank you very much.
Anybody else want to say anything? You don't have to. You're welcome to if you want to. No? Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Hershey. Thank you, Dr. Madras. And thanks to the students that are here as well. We really appreciate it. You know, LECOM is an amazing asset that we have here in our community. We're very lucky to have LECOM and each one of you here with us in Erie. I look forward to opportunities. I hope you look for opportunities to practice here in Erie, to use your knowledge and skills to help the people in our community. Since just a few days away, spring is just a few days away now, and what that means is it's compost time in the city. The City of Erie's Public Works Refuse employees will begin collecting items for compost during normal garbage pickups beginning this Sunday, March 15th. And the weekly collection will run through Thursday, December 10th. Please use only reusable open hard containers or compostable brown paper lawn and leaf bags for your composting. As you garden this summer, remember the City of Erie has finished compost giveaway sites. There's 2 on the west side and 2 on the east side of Erie. I use them every year, and they work really well with my gardens. So check the 2020 recycling guide, which looks like this. Everyone should have received one of these in the mail. There's more of them around City Hall as well. You can feel free to pick one up. And the details are also on our website and our social media platforms. I also want to remind you that the city picks up large items throughout the entire year. Acceptable and unacceptable items are also listed in the city recycling guide. So you can call 870-1550 or place a request online for large item pickup, but we ask you to do that at least 72 hours before your next weekly pickup night. The online address for that is www.erie.pa.us/large item pickup. You will receive a confirmation number and be told what night your items will be picked up. And one more reminder, you should never put out large items or any trash more than 24 hours before your scheduled pickup time. If you have any questions, compliments, or concerns about large item pickup, or any other city service for that matter, please call Moss Sala at our Citizens Response Center. That number is 870-1111. Very easy to remember, right? 870-1111. Next, I want to make everyone aware of tonight's City Council study session. Our Department of Economic and Community Development will present the proposed spending for our 2020 Community Development Block Grant dollars. That's at 5:30 tonight in City Council chambers. We're going to stream the discussion on all of our social media platforms and Nextdoor. Also, Chris Groner, Deb Smith, and Dave Dieter will be announcing the 2020 grants publicly in public sessions on Thursday, April 7th. There's 2 public sessions in City Council chambers, one at 10 in the morning and one at 6 in the evening. Finally, today, in the last 5 days, we've had 4 new LERTA app permits issued. They were all residential, and the total amount was $44,470. These applications were for replacing a porch, framing a porch, rebuilding a porch, interior renovations, and rebuilding an accessory structure. So as of yesterday, March 11th, in the 35 weeks since the new LERTA was enacted, that was July 3rd of 2019, we've now had 113 applications for a total investment in the area of $28,726,788. I think a lot of you probably know that 13 is my lucky number, and since we're now at 113 applications, I take this as a sign I may have some very large LERTA numbers to report next week. At least I'm hoping that. That wraps up today's press conference. Everyone who spoke will be available for interviews at the media. Thanks very much for being here.